Hello everyone. This topic about metric conversions. In metric conversion, we are going to base on this metric conversion line. Notice that on this metric conversion line, the unit that we are going to use to measure length is meter. Meter is represented by the small letter m. So this one right here, I will write it here for everyone, is called meter. Notice that to the right of this meter, the numbers or the quantity will get smaller. To the left of this meter, notice the number and the quantity will get bigger. So there are mathematical presentation for all of this prefix, the K, the H, the DA, the D, the C, and the M are called prefix. So I would like to go over the name for all of this prefix before we are talking about the mathematical presentation of all of these prefixes. So the K in front of M, the K is stand for kilo, so km is kilometers. Okay, so this one is kilometers. The next one is hectometer. DA is the decameter. DM is decimeter. CM is centimeter. And MM is called millimeters. There are more prefixes, and it's getting smaller here, and it's also getting bigger here. But in this lesson, we just concentrate on the process of how to convert between the unit by following the number lines that we have on here. Okay, so following the number of spaces that we have on this metric conversion line. So what about mathematical presentation for all of these? So meter will be standing for 10 to the exponent 0. We'll make it a 1. Deci is 10 to the exponent minus 1. So this one is 10 to the exponent minus 1. Centi is 10 to the exponent minus 2. Milli is 10 to the exponent minus 3. Deca is 10 to the exponent 1. Hecto is 10 to the exponent 2. And kilo is 10 to the exponent 3. Okay, and you see 10 to the exponent 3 representing 1,000, 10 to the exponent 2 representing 100, 10 to the exponent 1 representing 10, 10 to the exponent 0 is actually equal to 1. So if you notice the exponent of all of this power of 10, you see 1 representing 1 spade from meter to decameter. 10 to the exponent 2, the number 2 representing 2 spaces between meters and hectometer. 10 to the exponent 3 representing 3 spaces between the meter and the kilo. And don't forget, moving to the left will make the number bigger. Moving to the right will get the number smaller. That's why the number smaller represented by the negative number. And 10 to the exponent negative 1, you know that is 0.1. 10 to the exponent negative 2 will be 0.01. 10 to the exponent minus 3 will be 0.001. So the negative here representing 1 decimal place, negative 2 here representing the 2 decimal places, 10 to the exponent negative 3, the negative 3 represent 3 decimal places. Alright, so if you notice that here is deci 1 spade between meter and deci, but you are making it smaller. Okay, so therefore you have a negative 1. The negative 2, the negative representing that you are making your number smaller, but the -2 representing 2 spaces to the right of this unit meter. 10 to the -3, 3, -2 representing to the right of this meter. So in order for us to convert the unit between the metric system, what we should do is we should concentrate on this number lines. And we are going to locate the decimal point, and we are moving to the unit that we need to convert to. Okay, so let's start it with this example. So when I have 108 meter, then there's no prefix in this case, right? There's no prefix, so we just read it at 108 meters. And what we need to do is we need to convert to centimeters. So what you do is you go right on to this metric conversion line. You locate the meter. So meter is right here. So I would put meter right here. Okay. And what I do is I have to move the decimal point to the centimeters. So I know that I'm going to move 2 spaces. But where is the decimal point on this number 108? The decimal point on this number 108 is right after the number 8, but it's invisible because it's a whole number. You don't need to write the decimal point. But because we are converting the unit between the metric system, therefore we need to locate the decimal point. We have to write the decimal point in if you need to, and then we start moving this decimal point to where we're supposed to convert as a centimeter. And if we don't have any number to work with, we are going to put in 0 as a placeholder. So I'm going to move 2 spaces, right? So I'm going to do 1, 2 to get the centi. So what I'm going to do is now my decimal point will be right here, and in between I will have 2 0. So in this case my number will be 10800 centimeters. Okay, so now you see that you are going to centimeters. That means from the meter you are moving your decimal point to the right of this meter. It's the same thing here. You are going to locate the decimal point and you are going to move 2 spaces to the right of this meter. Okay, so now we get into example number 2, 532 millimeter. So in this case what I do is I locate the millimeter. It's right there. Now, okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to move the decimal point to where I meet the meter. So that means you are going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so millimeter, you go 1, 2, 3 to meet the meter. So if I locate the decimal point, I will have 532 decimal. So now I'm going to move to the left to meet my meter. So when I move that, I will go 1, 2, 3. So now my decimal point will be right there. So what happened to this number now? I'm going to put 0.532 meter. Okay. So the concept is locate the decimal point, move the decimal point, place the decimal point on this conversion line and move it to where you need to convert the unit to. And depends on you are moving to the right or to the left, then you are going to do the same thing for your decimal point. So now we have 10.3 kilometers. This one I have the decimal point to work with. So I go to kilo, I place my decimal there, and now I'm going to move to where the meter is. So I'm going to count. Okay, I'm going to move to the right, and I'm moving 1, 2, 3. So I do the exact same thing for my quantity here. So 10.3, I am to move this decimal point 1, 2, 3. So the decimal point now is there. So I have to put in 0 as a placeholder. So in this case, the number I'm going to convert to is 10,300. Okay, so I'm going to continue on with many of these questions here. Okay, so we have 9 altogether. So for number 4, I have 609 centimeters. So I know that I don't have the decimal point. So I'm going to put the decimal point right after the number 9. Excuse me. So now centimeters is right here. Right, centimeter is right there. So I'm going to move to meter. So I'm going to move to the left. So I go 1, 2, 2 spaces to the left to meet the meter. So I'm going to do the same thing for this decimal point. So I'm going to take this decimal point and I'm going to move 1, 2. So now the decimal point is right there. So my number now will become 6.09 meter. Okay, it's pretty simple. Okay, so now for 350 millimeters, so I am going to put 350 and the decimal point. So from millimeter, right there, I go to centimeters, so I move to the left 1 space. So I do the same thing here. I pick the decimal point and I move to the left 1 space. So now I should have 35.0. And you know that 35.0 is the same as 35. Okay? However, I want to leave the 0 in here to show you that I'm moving 1 decimal place to the left of this number. So now let's continue on with this number. I have 93.45 meters and I want to go to millimeters. So now you see that you are going to, from the meter, you are going to move 3 spaces to the right. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite my 93.45. Here's my decimal point. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So the decimal is there. I'm going to put in a place order. So my number is 93450 as the result. Alright, so in the metric conversion line, or in metric conversion, in terms of meter, the popular unit to work with will be kilometers, decameter, meter, centimeter, decimeter, millimeter. The hectometer is more for like measurement of area, and decameter is the same. These 2 units are used in construction, and for construction that means they are going to measure with the area. So often you don't see that in conversion unit in terms of length, you don't have to deal with the hectometer and decameter. However, I just want to emphasize it here. Okay, so in this case, I actually want to convert this uncommon metric unit. Uncommon metric unit could be hecto and deca, and what they are used for, they use for construction. But in construction, if we use decameter and hectometer, we usually go with the area. But in this case, we just work with the linear unit, which is the meter unit. Okay, so we're just talking about the length. We are not talking about the area of volume in this case. So for 33.91 decameter, so I want to recognizing the unit here, right? The unit that you have and the prefix that you have, and knowing how to read it as well. So from decameters, I'm moving to meter. So the decimal point is 33.91. I pick the decimal point and I just have to move 1 space to the right. So I'm going to go like this. So that means 33.91 meters to meters. My number will be 339.1 meters. So from meter to hectometers, again, I will locate the decimal point I will have 5.17. So my decimal point is here. From hecto to meters, I have to go 2 spaces to the left, right? So here, 1, 2. So that means I will go like this, 1, 2. So decimal point is right there. I have to put in the placeholder of 0. So I have 0.0517. Alright, so after this 8 example, I hope everyone get the idea how to convert between the metric system as a unit for the length meter. Okay, all you have to do is just draw this metric conversion line, put in the correct prefixes, and then you are going to move to where you need to move. And using the decimal point, move the decimal point accordingly, to the left or to the right accordingly. Okay, so for this particular example, I'm asking everyone to change the final assigned unit of measure and perform the indicated operation. Round final answer to 2 decimal places. So I have 569 decameter. Adding that with 7.39 kilometers, subtract 84.6 meter, and I ask everyone to put the answer in kilometers. So what you need to remember is this: in addition and subtraction, we should have the same variable to work with, or the same unit to work with. So because this question asking me to present my final answer as kilometers, so what I'm going to do is I will convert this 569 decameter to kilometers, and I will convert 84.6 meter to kilometers. Okay, so deca to kilometers, the meter to kilometers, so I will have the consistent unit of kilometer, and then I can add and subtract. So this one is decameters, so I'm going to have 569.0 for decameters. So convert that to kilometers. I know that I have to move 2 spaces to the left. So I'm going to go 1, 2. So now I will have 5.69 kilometers. Okay, and plus 7.39 kilometers. This one I already have the kilometers, but for this number I am going to move it 3 spaces to the left. So 84.6. I am going to pick up the decimal point. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. So I put the decimal there. I have the empty space here. I have to put 0 as the space holder, put the 0 at the front. So I will have to add that with 0.0846 kilometers. So now you see you have all the same units as kilometer to add or subtract. So if you use a calculator, punch all of this into your calculator, you should have it equal to 12.9954. Don't forget to write kilometers. And after this, they ask us to round the answer to 2 decimal places. Then rounding to 2 decimal places, I would like everyone to pay attention to this operation here. So that means you are going to round number 9, right? So we're going to round number 9. Number 9 is the one that you have to round. Okay, in unit 1, there is a lesson for rounding number. So in this case, I just quickly review for everyone. So when I round number 9, that means I need to look at the number 5. Okay, that means I have to look at the number to the right of the number that I need to round. If this number is equal to 5 and greater than 5, then I have to increase the number that I have to round by 1. If it's less than 5 and equal to 4, then what I need to do is I need to I'll leave this number alone, right? So but in this case I have 5 or equal to 5, so I have to increase 9 by 1. Increase 9 by 1, my number will be 13.00. So I will explain to everyone how I got this. So what I will do, like in previous lesson in unit 1, I taught everyone this. You are going to add the 1 to this. And okay, so that means you have to increase 9 by 1. So you add the 1 to that. So at 1 to 9, I will have a 10, carry the 1 over. So I have the 1 plus 9, I will have another 10, I will put 0, carry the 1 over. Bring down the decimal point, and 1 plus 2 is 3, and the 1 just stay the same. So in this case, I have 13.00, and I had to leave the 20 because it's asking me for 2 decimal places. Okay, so 2 decimal places, you have to leave the 2 zeros in this number. So now you see 13.00 is very close to 12.9954. So don't forget the unit, which is in kilometers. Alright, so I have quite a few exercises here that I would like everyone to work on. Don't forget to work on this practice and check the solution online. Thank you.